Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the second week of our 12-week summer series, What Happened to You, based upon the book written by Oprah Winfrey and Dr. Bruce Perry. We're here in the community once again of When Women Healed. When Women Heal was formed by Tierra Destiny Reed, founder of TDR Brand International. When Women Heal is a community that provides a safe space for women to heal, grow, and become empowered. I am the media host for When Women Heal, Dr. Glenice Harris Wilson, Associate Professional Counselor, Pastoral Counselor, and Professional Coach. Tonight, I am so excited, guys. I have a very phenomenal individual whom I just salute. I salute her for her determination, her growth, her healing. I salute her for not letting her circumstance determine her outcome. Let's welcome Monchel Hollins. Hi, Monchel.
Hello. How are you?
I am fantastic. How are you besides fabulous?
I am doing awesome. I'm doing great. Thanks so much for asking.
Oh, I am so excited about tonight with our Facebook family and friends. If you can, guys, click share. This is going to be such an awesome night as we hear the truth behind Monchel's story, as she be authentic and transparent to tell us about her journey. So tonight, Monchel, I want you to give us or tell us about two of your traumatic experiences that you've encountered.
Well, the first one is abandonment from my biological father. Um, I don't really think people really stop and really hone in. It floats around about, oh, fatherless home or single parent household, or, we say it so, it's become so normalized that we really don't sit down and see the long-term effects that it have on the children, especially females. We sometimes hear a lot about, oh, he didn't have a father, and it resulted to crime or, all of that. But very seldom do they really stop and ask the girl child how it feels when the father is not there. So it really affects every relationship that I've had. It affects the relationship with my children. It affects the relationship with my mom, a lot of resentment. Why did you choose him? You know what I mean? Like, you can't always just, oh, he left, but you had a choice. You chose him. What about him, that made you decide to, reproduce with? So I went through that with my mom. It's definitely affected my relationship with my husband of 15 years. I married him at 18. And I'll talk about how abandonment with my father really had me to leave home early and cling to a man, because I wanted that family. I didn't want my daughter to grow up with, daddy over here, daddy over there. And I wanted that family, right? And so the abandonment was traumatizing to me. And I really didn't know that it was traumatizing until I got older and started to kind of read up on it and of course, start on this healing journey. So you asked about it too, but the number one was abandonment. It really affected me big time and didn't
Let's
really.
let's take a look at this whole abandonment issue. And you said a big word, and that was it traumatized me, right? And our whole summer series is based upon our book written by Oprah Winfrey and Dr. Perry, What Happened to You. And one of the things that they talk about in the book, and specifically, was dealing with trauma. And what they're saying is trauma the way they defined it was it's a bad event or experience, usually one that sticks that you don't forget and that can have an enduring impact on you. If you had to give us a description of the term trauma, based upon your experience, how would you define trauma?
Whew. Um, it's have you ever been asleep and it was a dream? You were having a dream and you woke up, but the dream was it felt so real to when you woke up, you was like, wow, am I still dreaming or am I awake? And you try to wake up and like, okay, get over it. It was just a dream, keep moving. That's what I think trauma is. You can't get it out of your head. It's just like it's like a vicious cycle, and it just keep going and going and going. And when you don't have the tools or the support to get you through it, because people normalize it, and when you say it, they just kind of overlook it. You know, they say, oh, who cares? You don't need a daddy. Who cares about a daddy? As long as you got your mom. And you learn to keep pushing it down, like, okay, it don't bother me, and you try to wake up from it. So if I had to, define it, it's just a dream. It's traumatizing. I don't know. It's just, and let me just give you when it triggered me. I was about 8 years old, and she told me that was my father, right? And he's my brother's father as well. So we were up there at my grandmother's house, or supposedly grandmother's house, and my brother, they accepted him and claimed him. But when I went up there, it was always they would cling to him, but then I was kind of pushed away. You know what I mean? Like kind of, I can't. I don't think they meant to do it, but it was almost like, he was there, he was seen, and I wasn't. If it, I don't know really how to. Every time I talk about to cry, but it's like a child, wanting to come in and play or talk to you, and you kind of shunning them. And they didn't never say it, but I felt it. I felt when he walked in the house, it was like, hey, give him a hug and, what you doing and all that. And then when I came, it was just like, oh, hey, like they didn't tell you, you know what I mean? So I always felt like I was the outsider, you know what I mean? So I'll never forget that. And they always, try to speak to me now as I'm an adult, and I speak cordially, but I never forgot that in my head as an 8-year-old little girl. Like, you didn't accept me then, you didn't talk to me then. I'm kind of going through counseling and healing journey now. I don't really need you to speak to me. We can just keep it that way.
So you never lost the snapshot. You had that picture, but the snapshot, that photographic memory is still there, right?
Yeah.
This week I posted in the group, and we took it from the book What Happened to You, about the national statistics of the survey of children's health, and where it said, it talked about 50% of the children in the USA experience at least one significant type of trauma. Would you be safe to say that this was one of your most significant ones, and why?
Yes, I think it was the most significant one because it was ignored and I didn't deal with it earlier on. So it affected everything, like my emotional life. A lot of people say you're so strong, you're able to go. And it's because I've learned to kind of suppress, you know what I mean? Like any feelings, any trauma, I learned to just push it down, So I think it was the most significant one because I didn't deal with it until about maybe 3 years ago, after it hurt so many relationships, right? So many other family relationships, until it was just like, okay, Monchel, you got to get help. Like you cannot survive in this world alone. Just because you were abandoned then doesn't mean every person that come in your life is going to leave you or going to hurt you, or, So yeah, it was definitely significant.
Everybody needs something different from parents, right?
Mhm.
Um, Looking back in hindsight from that time up to now, what do you feel you were missing from your dad?
Um, being, I think I was more missing. I'm not so worried about the financial situation, right? Because as children, we don't even understand bills. We don't understand lights, water, the financial part. So what I needed most was you matter. And I will sacrifice what I want to do because you matter. Now, what does that look like? That looks like this little boy is trying to talk to you. He's no good. He's not a good guy, or whatever. And because you matter to me, I'm going to take 2 hours off of work and I'm going to come show you that you matter. And I'm going to have a conversation with you about this is what the little boy wants. This is what, help me navigate this part, because that's the part that I clung to when it was boys. It was being promiscuous because I'm just like, I don't understand. My mom isn't here. You in here. Anybody that say you're cute and I love you. You know what I mean? So I needed emotional support from him. And I really don't think fathers get that, because there's a lot of fathers that live in the home with their children, and in their mind they think, I need to pay lights, I need to pay water. Oh, she just wants child support from me. No, the child don't even understand that. The child just know you're not here. That's all they know. You're not here. And that doesn't mean you gotta live here in the home. It just means every moment I go through a traumatizing experience, you're not present to help me navigate. We know you can't save us, you're not God, but you're not here to help us navigate the hurt. And that's what I needed the most from you, presence.
And I used to hear all the time growing up, people would say, anytime a young girl would get involved with a guy, and I know I'm probably much older than you, but I used to hear, and maybe you heard it too, I'm not sure, but I used to hear people say all the time, if ever you have a baby by a guy, you need to always be prepared to take care of that child.
Absolutely.
I think that is just so far-fetched. I think that it comes a time that we have to get real and we have to be honest with our girls and our boys, our guys and our young ladies. We have to be honest. No, it takes, first of all, a village.
Oh, yes.
It definitely takes mom and dad, right?
Right.
So what I hear you say, Monchel, pretty much is that, Dad, here I am.
Right.
I need that. As years went by, you were probably on the sideline, Dad, here I am. I need this. I need you to do. There were probably, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but my guess is there may have been some significant events that you needed your dad.
Absolutely. Lots of events.
Tell me what that
needed. One event was, like I got bullied in I got bullied a lot in school, and for my appearance, my hair was always so pretty, right? But I got bullied a lot, and you have this picture in your head that daddy's supposed to come and not so much beat up other kids, right? But just at least somebody be there to say, all right, I know that happened. And just be there. So that was one experience. And then of course, when I started thinking boys were cute, you know.
handsome guy, right, Monchel? The
Right.
That one just over there, that one that may have played, that one that made A's in class, the cute guy.
Yeah, I needed him. And let me just say, he probably, when I grew up and started really afar watching him and watching how he deal with his children that were after us, I don't think he would have even known what I wanted him to do. I don't even think he possessed that. I really don't even think, and that's where the resentment came toward my mom, because I was like, wow, you picked a guy that was so crazy and just, he couldn't even, I mean, God forgive me, the guy's passed on the glory, but it's just so many emotions, but I needed him for the dating too, right? I needed him to say, look, this joker's no good, this one's no good. Why don't you go after that kind, or those moments is what girls need. It's not buying me the motors, the scooter and the toys you think that's what we want. You think that because that's what TV show you. Oh, get your kids this. But if you sit down with troubled kids, troubled teens, and really ask them, why did you do that? What made you do this or do that? And the first thing they'll say is, I didn't know. I didn't.
We ask, what happened to you, right?
Right.
I'm telling you, this book right here is it, all right?
Right. So that's what I needed, right? I needed to be seen. I needed him to just kind of help me navigate this thing. I'm not saying I probably would have still did it all right, but some male figure, could have intervened. And that's what I think was most traumatizing.
One thing about you, Monchel, is this right here. You're such a beautiful, outside, inwardly, you speak so much into hope and possibilities and
Right.
healing and wellness. You speak so much into that. You're such a beautiful person.
Thank you.
One thing I can say about this is that you're so well balanced with it. You can laugh about it a little bit. You can cry about it a little bit. You can tell a joke about it a little bit. And it says to me, my pain does not dictate my presence.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And you have overcome this whole idea of what it's like to feel abandoned by your father as a girl, right? Every little girl wants the daddy.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so I salute you for so many wonderful things that we've got to talk about tonight, because I know you've got another situation. Tell me about your second episode of your traumatic experience.
Poverty. When I realized what it was, and that's as you're going through poverty and trying to get out, you don't know what it's called, but you know it's something different. You know that whole survival mode. Something's different. It's when you don't have what you need. A lot of times people think we want a lot. People are just greedy. They want more. No, it's that space where you need this, mm-hmm, and you can't get it. See, there's a difference. Lights, water, shelter, clothes. And you're working so hard. You know what I'm talking about? You're not sitting on the couch. You're not sitting asking for a handout. You're working. Mm-hmm. It traumatizes you when you're working so hard toward just a decent life and the wind get knocked out of you time and time again. You sit in the classroom, you don't have enough of the materials you need. You got to ask somebody, you got to borrow, you got to go to the payday loan, you got to ask your aunt to get, that stuff is embarrassing. And no person in poverty want to do that. And I think people got it misconstrued. They always write books about us, but they never come and ask, why can't you get past this part? Why is your child dressed that way? Why, they don't. They just sit and watch you, but they're not sitting with us. So that was traumatizing, trying to get out. And you're carrying pride because you don't want the person with the resources to think you're begging. You're not asking for a hand out. You're asking for a hand up. And so you suppress that again, and you got to show up being stronger than you really are, because by the time you get out of the car to come into the class or to come and ask for the opportunity, it's taking you years to even accept, I need help. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to live like this for the rest of my life. And so you got to keep crawling and keep scrounging and keep, until finally it takes a lot of people out. You know, a lot of people just go, forget it. You know, I forget it. You know, I'm gonna go sell this because it's quicker. You know, I'm gonna go and, you know, do this crime or do that, because you just get tired. You give up, and you're just like, I'm through. So that was traumatizing. Poverty, oh my God. It's and then the other part is when you finally get to higher middle, you know, because you ain't up there with the 1%ers. But when you finally get higher to middle, you now got to go back and deal with being shunned or called white. You know, you acting white because you want a decent life. You know, I was in Winn-Dixie, getting my groceries, minding my own business. and bothering nobody, with my calculator, with my list, because I'm still on a debt diet. And this old friend of mine that knew me way back, she's been following me on social media as well. I had some groceries in my buggy, and she said, "What you got in this buggy?" And, you know, I was telling her the stuff because I said, you know, I may be chunky, but I'm trying to eat a little healthy so I can stay around here to eat these kids, you know, to help these kids. So what I put in my body matters. And she said, "Girl, you acting white. Oh, you acting white." And I said, you know, there were some older Caucasian women that were standing there beside me, so I couldn't go into detail what I really wanted to tell her. You know, I was going to revert back to that impoverished Monchel, but I said, no, I better keep on this, you know, journey. So I said, "Girl, you're so silly." And then I came home and I did a live video about when we trying to build a ladder out of poverty, we're already looked at different from the people that got the opportunity. Now we looking different to the people that say, "Oh, you got out. So, ooh, look what they trying to," you know. So you're in this middle part by yourself, and it's lonely. It's lonely. You trauma. You don't know what to say to this group anymore. You don't know what to say to that group because you're acting this way. So it, you know, it kind of goes back to the old, now you by yourself again. I told you, you're not, you know, now this person's gonna leave you again. You know, this family member don't like you anymore. And now you're back at square one with the whole abandonment feeling. So it's like those two, to me, abandonment from my father, poverty, trying to get out. Whew.
Tell me about, because you apparently realized you were in a situation that, one, you were not proud of. You didn't want to be in there very, 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 very early in your life. What do you feel helped you to avoid at all cost not to stay caught up in what you had seen over and over and over again?
Well, actually, it was a lady named Miss Johnny Otis. She was the nurse that would come to the high school to see the pregnant girls. All right. Miss Johnny lived up north, and for retirement, she moved back down here to this, you know, small town. And I'm pregnant, 6 of us pregnant. She walks in. She was from the health department. And she came to the high school to talk to the pregnant girls, and she brought a list of statistics, right? And she read them out to us. You know, hey, girls that get pregnant, their children are, you know, at a higher rate of being and juvenile delinquent, right? The children usually grow up and commit crimes. You're never gonna buy a home. You're gonna rent your whole life. You're gonna be on Section 8. You're gonna need all the, she was just, she didn't make the statistics up. She ran them out, and she gave us the paper. And I remember telling her, because she had like one of the biggest houses I had ever seen a Black person have in this town. And when I saw that, I said, all Black people don't live over here, what? And I went home and I started questioning everything. And remember, I got pregnant at 15. So a lot of people think, oh, wow, how is she doing this so early? It's because this woman gave me this at 15 years old. So from 15 years old to now that I'm 34, this stuff been playing in my head. Oh, I'm not supposed to buy property. My daughter's gonna repeat this. We're not supposed to be having babies at 50, so that's where I got on this whole like, oh my God, these are generational curses and we keep repeating them. This isn't right. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not supposed to want to qualify for this. This isn't the norm. Like, and so it was that lady. It was her coming to that school and telling me that my world and everything that I thought was right is not the norm. This is what they told me. This is what they put that I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm not supposed to be doing that. So I have to attribute that to she's gone to glory too. And I wish she could, she probably see me now, but I would always go off on her in those classes. I would say, not me, just because I'm having a baby doesn't mean, and I would get so defensive. And she would say, okay, well, if it's not you, then prove it. And that's what I've been doing for the last 16 years, that, just because I had a child at 15, just because I, grew up in poverty without a dad and mom working through, that doesn't mean anything. I can do whatever I want to do,
Monchel, also, let me just interject for 1 second, because you also stated in your bio that by the time you were in 12th grade, you were married and raising your 2-year-old daughter.
Yes.
By once again on government assistance.
Yes.
And I heard you say something a few minutes ago. Wow, this is what generational curse is all about. Mm-hmm. One of the things that Dr. Perry and Oprah Winfrey was talking about is that, there are things that's passed on. Mm-hmm. It's transmissible from one generation to the other. And one of the things they mentioned was fear. Mm-hmm. What do you feel was transmissible coming from generations that you know about?
When you say fear, are you asking what?
Is that one of yours, or did something else from other generations come down to you besides fear?
Oh, yes. Woo, Lord, a lot.
Capital F-E-A-R.
Yes. It's I mean, you know what? We can talk about some of the most, in-depth fear, but I'll just tell you about one of the crazy fears that was passed down to me. And it's crazy now that I think about it. People ask me why I got 6 dogs, right?
I'm getting ready to ask you why you have 6 dogs.
Let me tell you, my mother is afraid, terrified. I mean, will break her neck running from dogs.
That be me.
And I remember as a girl, I wanted a dog. I said, oh, I want a dog. I just wanted a And my husband now, he was my boyfriend, then he brought a dog, and he used to raise dogs, pit bulls, and he brought me a dog. And he gave it to me, and he left it at my house. And my mom said, you better get that dog away from here. Take that dog back. And it's because she was afraid. And let me tell you this. Her fear of dogs was passed down to me. And I would go to people's homes and never been bit by a dog, never been chased by a dog. And oh, you gotta put your dog up. You gotta I'm scared of dogs. And one day my husband was like, "You're not scared of dogs, I don't think." He said, "Let's see if you're scared of dogs." And he let his dogs loose. And I literally wasn't afraid. And all these years, I'm telling people I'm scared of, put your dog up. If I come to your house, you got to put your dog up. So now think about this. Think about this. That fear of just simple dogs went to the fear of my mom saying, "Oh, don't you let nobody keep your children. Don't, don't, they might touch you. They may touch." Why? Because there was a lot of molestation in my family. So every man that like you, want you, is gonna touch their, be careful. And so I kept my daughter, when I say sheltered, like I am the ultimate helicopter mom. And my daughter literally broke out. She was like, "You know what? I gotta go. You're crazy." And it was me thinking, I'm protecting you if I don't let you go or spend the night or go here or do this. And it backfired. So I'm gonna say there's a lot of fear of, if you get off of governmental assistance, how you gonna do it? Oh, girl, you better tell those people you married. Oh, if you tell them you married, they're gonna take your Section 8. And I'm thinking, no, I'm not gonna do that. He's broke and I'm broke. So I'm gonna put his name on the lease. I'm gonna put my name on the lease. I'm gonna put my daughter's name on the lease. I'm not about to walk around telling all these lies, because I gotta remember the lie from yesterday. So that's generational things that we carry, and we don't even really know that we're carrying these things until somebody from the outside go, "Girl, you look crazy. Why? What you running from dogs for?" Like, just stop running. Just walk. And if you walk, the dog will realize you're not a threat to him or her, and they won't chase you. And that kind of stuff. It'll hold you in it'll hold you in a space longer than you gotta be there. You don't have to be there that long. If you get the crazy fear that moving over to the other side, something's over there. Oh my God. Paying for groceries out of your debit card. Oh my God. We don't have to live that way. So yeah, those fears will be passed down generationally.
Monchel, you beat another odd. You beat another statistics. Most people said that, or statistics rather said that 1.5% of women, I noted in your bio, who became pregnant as teens, they really don't finish college until the age of 30. And you were on a roll. You got your associates, your bachelor's, and your master's by the age of 27.
With 3 kids.
With 3 children. What? 3 children.
3.
And did it by the age of 27.
Yeah.
Right? But you did it, and now you've got a motto that you live by: faith, focus, and finish. Tell us a little bit about your motto.
All right. So I've actually added favor before the word faith.
Okay, so we got faith.
Is favor.
Favor is first.
Faith.
Favor, faith, focus, and finish.
Yes.
No, you got to talk to us about all.
Okay, so I remember I was Googling, because I was going through, literally, like I was battling in my head. How in the world did I do all of this? I'm tired emotionally. God, I need something, right? So I started Googling, and I Googled, it was this, I think it was unknown. It never came up who actually said, but it was an athlete. It was on a video where an athlete was passing a baton. And I was watching it on YouTube, and it was, faith, focus, and finish. Or faith, no, it was focus and finish. And then I added faith and favor, because let me tell you why. I don't care what goal you set to do. It can be as simple as, I want to save 50 bucks, right? I'm gonna just keep it very simple. In order to get out of the situation of spending all your money, always in debt, you gotta have faith to do something different. Because you can't see it. You can't see the thing that you want. But you got to believe that if it came to you and you're feeling it, then it's real. Mm-hmm. So you a lot of times people gotta see it. They all, in order to get this car, I gotta have the money in the bank. No, you don't. No, you don't. You gotta first believe that you can have this car. So every time I got scared, like, oh my God, I can't do it. Am I gonna have enough financial aid? Am I gonna have enough money? I would say, okay, I know there's no way he would bring me this far to be dealing with the things that I'm dealing with for me not to get the degree. So I had to step out. Okay, I had to have faith. Now, focus. Let's talk about focus. When you are coming out of poverty, okay, mm-hmm. You gotta basically kind of denounce for a little while. You gotta denounce for a little while your family, your friends, the people you hang with, right? Because they having barbecues, they traveling, they fish fry every weekend. I mean, they just having stuff, and you gotta say, I can't do it, y'all. I got a paper due. Mama, I can't take you to the doctor every week. We gotta divide this up between the other 2 children you have. I can take you on Tuesday. Y'all can't. Your emergency can no longer be my emergency. Wow. Because I got to get us out, right? I got to be that helicopter to be able to throw that rope back down in a couple of months or a couple of years. Right now, you're mad at me. You're gossiping about me. You're talking about me. Oh, she acting funny. She don't want to come around. Oh, look at her. Oh, baby, she thinks but just wait, baby. Karma. That's what they say. Karma. She don't want to help me now. No, I can't help you now because I don't have the capacity to help you now. So that focus is, you got to have laser beam focus. You got to have the blinders on, like they put on a horse. When they want a horse to walk in the parade straight, they work years with blinders.
Can't be everything to everybody.
You can't. So that's focus, all right? That means you got to say no for now. And you tell them I'll come back when I'm able to help you. But right now, I got to get me out of this. All right? And then finish. Finish, there's an invisible finish line that never exists. Okay? We always think, oh, if I just finish by this age. Well, when you finish by 27, guess what? Now you're working on your doctorate. Now you got, so it's the finish line is whatever your success is. What is your success? Was it an associate? Was it buying a little 3-bedroom house? Don't look at somebody else's success. What did you set out to do? And once you reach that, that's when you're finished. Not her finish line, not his finish line. And that's what I kept in my mind, because I saw people going faster than me even before 27. I saw people sitting in class not sleep deprived. They were sitting there alert, asking the professor more questions. I'm over there head dropping, trying to stay awake. So I had that on every binder: favor, faith, focus, and finish. And no matter what I do, the businesses that I run, the way I'm raising my children, everything I set to do, I have that everywhere around my house: faith, focus, and finish. Faith, focus, and finish. So that's it. That's what I usually.
And that was one thing I was curious. Seeing you now and reading part of your story and listening to you tonight, what can you say has been such a significant difference in your life as a child and then the life of your children?
Oh, wow. Wow. That's very good. You got some very good questions. Um, they're very good. All right, so this may sound crazy, but this is the significant difference. When I tell you I can count on one hand the amount of things I've missed from my children, one hand. All right, this child is 18 years old. I didn't leave her and say, oh, let me go work 3 jobs to where I'm not available, because I resented my mom. And now that I'm grown, I understand, why she couldn't sit at the lunch table and have lunch when the other parents came for the parties and, all that stuff. I now get it. But I vowed that I quit a job, right? I would quit a job before they tell me I cannot go and support my children. So the significant difference between my childhood and my children is they can never, unless God take me to glory when we get off this computer, but they will never say, my mom was never there. From the time they wake up in the morning, I'm there. Good morning. When they go to bed,
your presence was part of your value system. When I'm raising my children, there's a certain value system that I have that's going to guide the parent that I'm going to be, the mom that I'm going to be. And part of that value system is my presence.
Yep. We can be, and this is what I told them. I said, I'm never gonna ever promise you guys the world, right? I financially, I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna, oh, every new toy, every new shoe, every new clothes. Oh, you wanna go on this trip with your friend? I'm not even gonna put that pressure on myself. What I can promise you as your mother is that you won't go to bed without me and you won't wake up without me. I'm gonna be here. You're not going to be afraid to walk down the hall, because my son Gavin is afraid to walk down the hall to use the bathroom. And we all know that he's afraid. It's crazy. He's been here, living in this house, but he's still scared. But as a girl, I remember my mom working 3 jobs and never being there. And I was always a scary child. I didn't want to sleep by myself. I always heard things at night. And I said, oh, when I get grown, my children never gonna be at home by this. I hate being at home by myself, because she would spend the night at these people's homes. Because she sit with people, right? Older, elderly people. And she would spend the night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we would be at home for days, by ourselves. And I didn't like it. I said, whatever job I get, I'm getting off at night and I'm gonna be available. So that's the difference. They may not have all the big house and luxury and all that, but they definitely will not be able to say, my mom left me for money. She left me chasing a man. She was clubbing. No, I'm here. I'm here. Even as a young mom, I'm here. Do you need to talk? Do you want to talk? What's going on? I'm here. Now, if you don't want me, then that's fine, but I'm definitely going to be here. So that's the difference.
One of the things that we do recognize about you, Monchel, is that education is really important for you. You even wrote a book, right? You wrote a book, Education Saved My Life. Tell us about it and tell us where they can get your book.
They can get my book several places. Amazon, Barnes and Noble, they can get it from my website, MonchelHollins.com. But when I say education saved my life, a lot of people think they get education and degrees mixed up. Okay. I had a professor that said when I walked in the class, all of us were sitting down. He said, all right, if you're here for an education, raise your hand. We all raise our hand. He said, if you're here for a degree, raise your hand. We all raised our hand. He said, I'm gonna say it one more time. If you're here for an education, raise your hand. And we was confused. He was like, we're here for both of them. Like, we want to learn, we need a degree. He said, well, if you're here for a degree, just sign your name every day on this roll. And I'm gonna turn it in down there. And they're gonna give you a degree. You can buy you a degree if you want it, but If you're here to learn and you want to be able to take this degree, take your education and flip it, be able to do things with it, turn it into a business, learn, then stay here. But if you're not, go home, sign in right here and go home. So that stuck with me because I know a lot of people that got degrees plastered all around their walls and they're not using them. They don't know how to really monetize them. You know, even if the corporation won't hire you, create your own. If you got the knowledge from the biology, create your own, you know? So that's what I meant when I said education saved my life. What I mean by that is when my mom called me over there and said, hey, these people finna do some work to my house. They sent this contract over here. I don't know what all this mess is talking about. I need y'all to come over here and look at this stuff. Now, if we weren't educated, I couldn't help my mom. I wouldn't be able to talk the language, be able to read this contract and say, no. My mom's not signing that. What does this say? And pass it back and say, no. You gotta go change B. You gotta go change this. No, she can't sign that. So it changed not only my life, but I'm able to go back now and help my brother because he dropped out. Now he's in Troy State University. He got a couple classes left. He dropped out at 16. My sister, I was actually working at the college at this time, but my sister was working at Wendy's. She had did 16 years at a restaurant. She's a second grade teacher now. I went back and got my sister. I said, oh, no. There's no way I'm going to go and work at this college and not make sure my sister got a degree, make sure my brother got a degree, make sure my mom, who dropped out, we went and got her a high school diploma. Okay. My niece, just graduated from Wallace Community College, where I put a lot of years in. And she's transferring to UAB. And I'm assisting her along the way. You know, they can't trick her. They can't make us sign something that we don't need. And, you know, that's what I mean when I say education saved my life, because I was able to go out, make all the mistakes, get all the debt from it. And now when they coming through, I'm going, oh, no. I've worked 10 years at this college. There's no way you're going to sign a Parent Plus loan. No, we starting at the community college, then you're going to get a transfer scholarship, and you're not going to graduate with anything. Why? Because I'm in here, and I know the system. You know what I mean? So when God, that's why I had to go back and add favor. When God said, Monchel, something's wrong with this picture. It's too many of us making the same mistake. Make some new mistakes. Mama pregnant at 16. I'm pregnant at 15. My sister pregnant at 17. My brother dropping it. I said, y'all, something's wrong. Come on now. Let's give our mama her flowers now. So every degree we all got, we always give it to her. Every one of our degrees are at her house. We don't put them on our walls. My brother graduated, he gave it to my mom. My sister graduated, she gave it to my niece just 2 months ago, walked across the stage, she gave it to my mom. All of our degrees are at my mom's. So this is more than a degree. This is helping me leave a legacy that when I'm gone, they're gonna say, one of them said, So I may never see the full fruition of what I'm doing. I may never see it. But they're gonna say, she said something's different. We need to change. So,
and you know in your heart, whether you live long enough to see it all,
right.
You know in your heart that you're leaving a legacy, so much so that somebody else is going to pick this up and they're going to leave all that they leave. And then, so your whole episode of generational curse has changed.
Yes.
It's changing for the positive.
Yep.
What's being left now, generation after generation after generation, is for the good of man and for the positive, and to help to emphasize what family does to impact family, right?
Absolutely. That's it.
Monchel, I love me some Monchel.
I'm
What
glad you.
what I need you to do now, I'm quite sure there are probably some parents out there that probably need to reach you. There are
Right.
probably students that need to reach you. How can people reach you?
Again, they can go out to monchelhollins.com, click on the button that says contact me. And all of the phone numbers and everything, of course, will be linked to the receptionist, and they'll leave me a message and I will get back with them. And I usually take about 24 to 48 hours because I'm running a lot of different things right now. But yeah, they can definitely get in touch with me via our website, monchelhollins.com.
Awesome, awesome. Monchel, before we leave tonight, a couple of things. Let's check in and see who all do we have on here.
Okay.
We've got some of our sisters with her. Of course, we've got our head honcho, Tierra Destiny Reed. I saw her name. Hey, Tierra. We've got Tanisha. Hi, Keisha. We've got Lander. We've got James Wilson. My husband is watching. Charity Washington is watching with us. And I may have missed some. Monchel, I don't know if you see any that I've missed or not.
I can't see it. I actually have it all. I have like three.
All
Let's
right.
see if I can see from over here.
While we're doing that, I want our Facebook family and friends to be sure to tune in next week for our third week. It's going to be even more just as amazing as these last 2 weeks. Next week, we're going to have the fabulous Keisha Ford Robinson with us, and she's going to be talking about some things about women, telling women they don't have to settle for less. They can say what they want. They can take their lives back. So women, we need you all to tune in next week. It's going to be fantastic. Monchel, before we leave tonight, I've got one big question. I know we've really threw some questions out there tonight, and your story was just amazing for us. I've got one big question. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
You're from Eufaula, Alabama.
Yes.
If I came to Eufaula tomorrow, what would be one thing that would wow me?
I think what what wow you is, let's see. I think the lake. I think the lake. It is
I just said it. I just said, you said lake, and I said, wow.
serious. It is beautiful. There's a guy that I follow on social media. His name is Peter Pauley. All right. And every morning before I do my meditation, because he goes to our lake and he watches the sunrise come up from our lake. He moved here from Florida. And every morning he catches the sunrise and what it looks like from Eufaula, Alabama. And he takes portraits of it and he prints them and he put them on canvases. I mean, he does a lot with it. But when I say the ugly parts of Eufaula, the beautiful parts of Eufaula, the big antebellum homes, because you got to remember we're in the deep South, Alabama, and it's still got a very, it's still kind of segregated. But through all of that, when you see that lake, I'm telling you, it is beautiful. It is beautiful. It's breathtaking. I mean, and there's nothing here, like literally. There's no attractions for real. But that lake, oh my Lord, I go there all the time and I just sit. Like, it's beautiful, it's tranquil. Sometimes it get a little ugly.
Yeah, I would love it because I love to write, and that would be just my sitting place to write.
And I got the perfect cabin for you if you ever came.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's beautiful.
See, I'm saying wow, and I can't stop.
Yeah, let me know when you want to visit, and I'll make sure I get it for you.
Absolutely. Monchel, thank you so much.
Yes.
Just continue to be as beautiful as you are. Continue to impact all the lives that you are impacting. You're doing a marvelous job. You are just heartwarming and breathtaking. Thank
Yes,
you
ma'am.
so much.
You
All
are
right.
so welcome. Thank you so much for having me. You guys have a great night.
Absolutely. Good night, guys.